Example 12 tells us that we're going to solve between 0 and 360 degrees. Tangent of 2x is equal to the square root of 3. Well, first I'm going to think about my interval. So 0 to 360 degrees, correct? That's what x is going to be. But I'm not dealing with x as my angle. What is my angle here?
2x.
2x. So instead of this x in the middle, I'm going to put 2x there. Well, how did we get from x to 2x?
Multiply it by 2.
So if we multiplied this x by 2, guess what else we're going to do? Multiply everything by 2. So that means that my double angle there has to be between 0 times 2 is 0, and 360 times 2 is 720 degrees. So my double angle here, when I get my 2x equals, has to be answers between 0 and up to 720 degrees. 720 degrees is how many times around the circle? Twice.
That's like double solutions.
All right, so let's go over here and look at this then. So we've got tangent of 2x is equal to the square root of 3. Tangent is positive in what quadrants?
All students take first and third.
Good, so in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3.
Sorry, big nails.
But remember, we're going to go through this circle 2 times. So we're going to hit both of those points twice. So each one's going to give me a different answer, even though they'll be coterminal to one of the others. All right, so let's start on our first time around this circle. Well, I guess I need to figure out my angle first, though, kind of, my ordered pair. So tangent is the square root of 3. What is tangent in terms of x and y? So that means that's going to be over 1, right? And so if I'm looking at an ordered pair, I know my x is going to have a 1, and my y is going to have a square root of 3. But remember, we said tangent and cotangent are the only ones we're allowed, if it's got a 1 and a square root of 3, we're allowed to say what? That is going to be over 2. And that's only because when we multiply by the reciprocal, or the keep it, change it, flip it, they cancel. Now.
1 or square root of 3, you said?
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's take our first trip around our circle. So I'm going to hit that quadrant 1 angle. What is a quadrant 1 angle that has x is 1/2 and y is the square root of 3 over 2?
Pi over 3.
All right, so my angle, which is 2x, is going to equal pi over 3. Let's keep going around the circle. Now I'm going to go to that quadrant 3 angle. Now in quadrant 3, though, we know x and y are both negative, but tangent's still positive, so that's why we didn't put the negatives there, but it's okay. So where is the x going to be a negative 1/2 and the y is going to be a negative square root of 3 over 2?
4 pi over 3.
All right, so my angle, 2x, will also equal 4 pi over 3. I didn't catch it when you gave me the first one, but notice my angle has to be between what?
0 and 720.
0 and 720 what? Degrees. So we really should be doing these in degrees. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it on the first one. So pi over 3 is what in degrees? 60 degrees? And what about 4 pi over 3? 240 degrees.
Why are we using 4 pi over 3 if it's negative 1/2 and negative 3?
But it's still going to give me that positive square root of 3. Okay? All right, so we're in quadrant 3, and we complete our first round of the circle. Well, I'm at 360 degrees. I need to go another round, correct? So as I go back around, I'm going to hit this place again here. Well, what is the second angle going to be?
420.
How'd you get that?
That's added 360 and 60.
Yeah, it was a 60 degrees originally, and we just went another complete circle, so we end up with 420 degrees right there. So 2x, my angle will also equal 420 degrees. And then we're going to keep going. We're right here. We hit that point again. What is that angle now?
600.
Yeah, it's the 240 degrees we had originally, plus another full circle, which is what, 600 degrees?
Yepper.
So we know our angle 2x is also equal to 600 degrees. And then I'm going to keep going around my circle. But then I hit right here, which is the 720. So I'm done. So all of these are going to be my answer, except we want to know what x is, not what 2x is. So what do I do? Divide by 2. Now, because we're solving for x now, all of my answers have to be between 0 and 360 degrees. So is 30 between them? Yes, so divide by 2 here. And we get x equals 120, which is between 0 and 360. Divide by 2, and we get
260.
210, which is between 0 and 360 degrees. And divide by 2, and we get 300, good, which is between 0 and 360. So there are 4 solutions for this problem.